It has officially been about 2 weeks since Soul Survivors, my dystopian romance novel, launched, and I wanted to chat with you about it, all the successes, things to improve on, and what my plans are for the future. Especially because I think it'd be fun to look back on this, but also because I really want to let you in behind the scenes as a self-published author. So let's get into it. So Soul Survivors debuted on October 15th, 2024. It is a dystopian romance. I also just call it a psychological thriller with a huge romantic plot in it because I do feel like it is both those things. I think that was a little bit tricky to market, but surprisingly a lot of people responded to it really well. I've been summarizing it as basically the two main characters were born in this paramilitary cult and they grow up to realize, oh, we are the bad guys, and they don't want to be in the cult anymore, but if they leave, it's punishable by death. And then on top of that, the cult leaders go after the rest of the world, not just the cult members, so then there's no escape and they have to figure out what to do. I think that in terms of successes, something worked in the way that I had described it on the back cover and to booksellers, because one thing that I thought was really cool is that it was like the most purchased on Ingram Spark for me so far. If you don't know what Ingram Spark is, Ingram is this huge distributor of almost all books in the world. They distribute books from almost every single publishing house out there. So their self-publishing division is called Ingram Spark, and a lot of self-published authors and independent publishing houses use that as a way to distribute their books across everybody. So booksellers like bookstores and things like that, they usually order books through Ingram. So to have orders through that come through, like what bothers me is that I can't see who ordered through Ingram, but what I can see is each day how much was ordered, and one of those days I just came back to check on the account and 50 more books had been ordered. So I was like, whoa, where did that go? I still don't know. Like, I'm trying to figure it out, but I don't know. I just know that it was a bookseller. So that was really cool because that makes a huge difference for me. Paperbacks and hardcovers definitely support financially a lot more than ebooks do, so it helps me be able to keep boosting the book. But I would say that the ebook still really helps, especially if it's the first book in a series and people want to read it through KU. I think that's really cool. So that's also what I found interesting, because people were buying this book outright much more compared to my romances, flat out romances and not thrillers. I'm guessing that people want to buy their thrillers and people want to maybe borrow or read digital versions of romance books, which is kind of what I had heard before about romance books and people wanting to read them through ebooks, but I had never seen such a clear example of that, and I thought that was super interesting. So I had a lot of pre-orders. In terms of the stats, getting into Amazon, I personally am not a fan of the company in general. Sorry, Jeff, I hate you. No, just sorry. He's gonna murder me now. Okay, I still do appreciate how much my face is red. I still do appreciate how much Kindle Direct Publishing allows self-published authors to gain an audience, and how much that they advertise for us, because people who are following me will get emails when I publish a new book. I think that's really cool, like people who follow me on Amazon. I also think it's cool that I do get paid in a way where people can have more access to read the book as an ebook through Kindle Unlimited, rather than buying all these ebooks every single month. They can have a subscription that costs like maybe around the price of 2.5 ebooks, so they can get way more ebooks than that but not feel as much financial strain when I'm asking them to read my book. I think that's really cool. I don't usually pay attention to the stats as much. I did hire my friend Kelly Reynolds. She's another author. She has really awesome books. She also does some personal assistant type works for other authors. I really wanted to work with her. I thought that it would be nice to support her and also see if it could support me, because I felt like it was a lot of work just on by myself because I don't hire people out to do my covers. I do them myself. Same with the formatting. I hired Kayla Vokalek to edit for me, and she did an amazing job with this book, but I thought that having Kelly's input was extremely helpful and led to a lot of successes. Part of that being that she was helping me a lot with social media and marketing, and she she was like, yeah, let's do arcs, even if it's like 2 weeks before. So we did some, and I didn't have a lot of people signing up for free books. They were buying it instead. That's what was very shocking to me. But I mean, if you want to buy it, that's amazing. So I didn't have a lot of ARC signups. I still had people sharing my posts and getting excited in the comments without me having to ask for it as much as usual, which I felt like was a success because it meant that I still had that connection with all of you. I am always looking for ways to make it more interesting and involve readers more. Sometimes the background stuff is like not as fun as the book, but I think that it's still entertaining to like see people's reactions and to be excited with them, because I do think that once I publish a book, it's yours. It's not like mine anymore only. You get to be the one now to enjoy it, and hopefully people who need to read it, like in terms of it's the book that they really want to read, can somehow get it. I felt like for the live stream for the launch, I had so much fun with you. So if you came to that stream, thank you so much for coming. It was a small stream and cozy. You can still watch it if you want to hear me read the excerpt. I keep laughing to myself because I messed up the excerpt in a weird way. I don't know if you can tell, but I like misread something and was like, oh my god, I forgot to give important context, but it worked out. It's always worse than your head, you know? That stream was fun. And then once I got off the stream, I checked my phone because I don't look at my phone during the stream unless it's like a mod or something being like, hey, something's wrong. But this stream was not big enough to need modding. And my friend who I mentioned who's doing marketing for me was like, hey, did you see this? And she sent me a screenshot of Soul Survivor's stats on Amazon that was saying it was number 90 in LGBTQ plus horror ebooks. And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Because she had made a video to post on Instagram for me using a clip of me that was like, my book just published, and it was above the number 1,000 for ranking in its category. So in the ebook category, it started out in the high 800s, which was wild at the time because I had never reached an 1,000 or above ranking, as in like the number is lower than 1,000 for above. It's confusing to say. 90 was shocking. I was not expecting that. I was expecting like, oh, what if it went up to like 500 if it already got to 800 something? But when it was at number 90 in LGBTQ plus horror ebooks, that is where I was expecting it to stop ranking. But then the more I looked and like I posted it again being like, oh my god, what is happening? People were sending me screenshots throughout the night of it being like higher and higher up, and that was just really exciting for me. I did not expect it at all. It went all the way up to number 18, and I don't know if it went any higher like when I wasn't looking because it kind of changes every hour, but right now it still is high up there, and if someone buys an ebook it goes back up. So I think that brings me to one of the things that I would like to improve upon in my plans for the future that I will mention in a few minutes, because I think even though things have slowed down now, I think that it would be easy for it to build back up again in order for it to still be successful despite all these algorithm hurdles. So having Kelly be the one to be like, hey, these stats are cool, and to share them with you was awesome because I would not normally have done that, and she opened up that conversation with everybody where people were super excited about it, and I did not expect that. So I thought that was a really good success in terms of having another way to celebrate with people. Sometimes I've noticed that I've limited myself to not share those things, and I always feel like, oh, maybe it's like bothersome or something, but people are following me to hear about this stuff and I need to remember that. So that was awesome, and thanks to everybody who was so kind about that. I also had a nice book signing at the Romance Era bookshop, so if you came to that and you're watching this, thank you so much. Ren is amazing. I filmed my reaction to that and preparing for that, so that will be coming out on Saturday. I wanted to post 2 videos this week because I accidentally missed the videos from being so ridiculously busy, so I'll be seeing you again on Saturday. It is always such a joy to see people in person, and definitely one of the reasons why I do in-person events, just to be able to hear people's thoughts and to get to meet people out in the community, because a lot of times I'm just writing at home by myself or editing or drawing, all that stuff. In terms of things that I would like to improve on for the next launch, I had a few different things that I want to keep in mind that I think would be interesting to look back on in the future, like future me rewatching this. And maybe you, if you're rewatching this much later on after I've published more books. First of all, reviews. So as I said, the ARC signups, ARCs are advanced review copies. That means that, like, sometimes people call them advanced reader copies, but sometimes I feel like that's a confusing term. Publishing companies and authors will gift their books before it's out so that people can read it early in case they would like to review, and usually those reviews are meant to be voluntary because it is a gift, and that's always very important to me. And it's been like a hot topic lately in the bookish world, but I am never like, oh, you need to leave a review and stuff like that. I think that's kind of weird. If people seem disinterested, then maybe I'll take them off the list so I stop pestering them being like, do you want to read this? And then so they don't feel pressure too. But I think because of that, and then also I kind of feel weird personally about asking for reviews. Soul Survivors currently only has 3 reviews on Amazon, which is not a good look. In terms of in the algorithm, I don't always mind the appearances. Like, I know that the book just released and people are probably keeping that in mind because they'll look and see, but the algorithm, if when your books stay below 50 reviews, it will not cycle it the same way as it does to books that have more than 50 reviews. So it can get kind of pushed farther and farther down until you can't see it anymore, and I don't want that to happen. So I think I need to get better at asking people to review and asking for that favor. It does feel like kind of a favor, and I kind of feel, like I said, a little weird about it, but hopefully that will get more normalized by time, because what I have noticed in the past is that when I asked, and just by saying like, hey, this is helpful if you have time, that people will do it. Especially because when I was posting draft versions of My Shy Alpha on Inkit, Inkit has a built-in review system, and people had left like dozens of reviews just on their own without me ever asking, just because it was there. And I think if there's like a culture of knowing that that helps authors, then readers want to do that. But I also, like, just leaving a star rating helps. So I don't think that's that like burdensome to ask, but either way, I think that like if it is a burden to someone, they can just not do it. And so I should just ask so that people know how to help. Otherwise, how will they know? The second thing that I would like to improve on for next time is keeping up a momentum in terms of energy. So that means like with myself and also the energy behind the book. So I feel like I pushed really hard and then I got kind of burnt out and really exhausted. I was like, I can't post on social media anymore. Like, I did such a hard push. But I feel like in the future I want to do more posts being excited about the book after it has just launched. Because sometimes I think that readers are excited about the book after the book launches, and I'm excited about the book like extra before it launches because I can't wait for you to read it. So I think that if I kind of got on your level more of understanding where you're at and being like, hey, this is exciting, it's finally here, like, let's read it together and stuff like that, I think that would be more effective, because then, like I said, it would be more involved and relating to you more rather than just like keeping in my own energy about it. And then lastly is something that I do not enjoy is advertising in terms of like pulling out ads. Okay, I'm enjoying certain aspects of marketing in terms of like having a reason to tell you about things that I'm excited about the book. I love that, and I think that if I lean into that more, that would be effective and maybe bring it into more things. But what I'm trying to talk about that I need to work on is like literally pulling out ads without feeling like I'm wasting money or like doing something wrong. I need to literally take courses on this, and I've taken some but nowhere near enough. So that's something I want to improve on, and I think I don't know if people are interested in hearing about that, so let me know in the comments if you want to hear more. Otherwise, I'm gonna stop there. It's just too technical to be interesting to most people. That being said, the plans I want to implement for the future, because I feel like I'm not going to just point out what's wrong without making a plan on what I think would help. So far, my list that I'm creating, I'm still going to keep adding to it, but right now I wanted to immediately try an ebook sale, and I am sending the ebook sale, like the discount information, to a couple of different promo websites where readers have specifically signed up to hear in a newsletter like when discounted books are available. I think that would just put it in front of more new readers. So I took advantage of Halloween being like, hey, I have a new dystopian romance, like a thriller out for a scary holiday. And I made it 99 cents because I don't feel like it would be fair to make it free for at least like 6 months. It just debuted, like it's too early, and people have spent their time and money to support the book, so it's not right now, like it's too precious to make free just yet. It would create more of a hit for me, and also I feel like not respect people's orders that they just spent on supporting me. So I'm doing that. Just a really quick update while I have a spot treatment on my face. I tried that with the promo thing and it didn't work very well because it wasn't a free ebook, and I think people have more success with free ebooks. So if you don't want to waste your money, that's where I'm at right now. Like, I wouldn't exactly recommend doing that. Other than that, I would like to figure out how to get some type of press and media publications, because I think it is easier than it seems. And I've been researching that more. So when I have more information, if you're curious, I can tell you more about that. But that's something I'm looking into. Also because the only way that authors win awards on things is to put their books into, like, to nominate their books. Unfortunately, that means we have to pay for it. So I would like to research which ones would be worth paying for, because I don't know if all of them are. I don't think that I care about winning awards per se. I more just thought it would be a great way to be like, hey, this book, like, someone liked it who had some type of expertise. So hopefully that would help people see like, oh yeah, I should take a chance on this indie book. And then lastly, I have more plans, like I said, but the main one I want to share with you is that I would love to do a read-along event. So I've seen my friend Carla Nicole do this. She has an amazing vampire series that I have loved for a long time. She just came out with another book in the Vampires of Eden series, book 2, and I absolutely loved it. But something that she did before her final book in the Lauren Less series was that she like scheduled out with her readers on Instagram being like, hey, let's all read these chapters at this time together. So like throughout the span of, I think like maybe a week and a half or 2 weeks, everyone read the same chapters on the same days and then posted about it. And I thought that was such a cool way to like give some basically like live annotations to my thoughts about the book while hearing your thoughts about it, because sometimes I only get to hear everyone's thoughts, like overarching thoughts at the end, and not like within each chapter, where there's things that I think would be cool to see, like what quotes do people like, what aspects of this did they find emotionally like upsetting or exciting, and seeing like which things line up for us, because I think that would be really cool. So if you're interested in that, definitely let me know. Maybe we can do it on YouTube as well somehow, like a series of live streams or something. So yeah, let's chat about it. Overall, I'm excited about this launch, and I want to think of it in a way that I don't feel like it has ended yet, especially because I want to keep bringing it to events with me and sharing it with people, because I'm still a small author. The book is still not like fully out in the world yet, and I just would love to meet more people and to share that with them, because I worked for 10 years on it. If you're an author watching this, definitely don't give up. And if you're a reader watching this, thank you again for being here and wanting to support authors. I think it's really cool how involved a lot of readers have gotten in the indie publishing space, and very intentionally supporting small authors like me. It makes a huge difference, more than most things can. It's very valuable and very generous, so I really appreciate that personally. I know that so many authors do, and they should, so thank you. And with that, I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you on Saturday. Goodbye.